So first favorite thing about Bhutan, gross domestic happiness. Instead of a GDP, gross domestic product, their product is happiness, and it's something that's like really palpable among all the people of Bhutan. They're very nice, they're very welcoming. You just have to experience it.
Liked seeing, and this sounds really cliche, but the people of Bhutan, and there are just a few examples of this, just how I guess happy they were. So like our tour guides were always making jokes and stuff like that, just got such joy out of making these not traditional jokes, but ones that I'm sure everyone in the country has heard before, but they tell them again because it's still funny. And just how if someone didn't have change for you in a shop, they'd like run to the shop down the road to get change from their friend and leave you in there, and that would never fly in America, but people were just very trustworthy, and that was really cool. There's so many examples of that. I could go on and on.
Bhutan is a wonderful country. We went on a 2-week stroll around, and I must say I love the people. They're so kind to you, they smile, and if you sit down, you can be sure that somebody will sit beside you in order to make you feel comfortable in their country. They may not speak English that well, but they will offer small gifts, whatever they have, an apple, and to make you feel good. And they are Buddhist, as we all know, or should know, and that makes them having a friendly attitude to all and everyone.
Another really memorable moment was going to the nunnery and listening to the young monks, or the young nuns chant. And when we first entered the temple, a big cluster of these young nuns came around me, and they were so intrigued and so genuinely interested in each other and in what I was writing and what Jim was saying. And something I'll always remember is...
And Jim is who?
Is our professor who was lecturing. And I remember drawing a sun on my notes, and they just burst out in laughter, and it was such a great moment of all of us thinking that a funny face is just like the best thing ever, no matter if I'm a girl from the US or a nun from Bhutan. So that was really, really amazing. And I think in general, one of my favorite, most memorable things about Bhutan are the rich stories that everyone has to tell. Whether it's the guide just driving to the restaurant or the hike, and all the stories they have to say, and how their culture is, to them, happiness isn't something you can define. It's something that you live, and it's something that you can share through experience and culture and stories and just walking where your ancestors have walked. And that's what happiness is to them. It's just a way of life. And being there, I really felt that, and I felt just at home. So I think, in general, I loved everything about Bhutan. So.
What do you think about gross domestic happiness? Is this a concept that it is just more than a good wish than an actual reality?
Well, I think it's a reality for many of the people because, like I say, it's a small country, and it's a very devout Buddhist country. So you can see the people who embrace Buddhism, they're not so attracted to the materialistic lifestyle that that you see in other parts of the world. But the challenge is the young people. The young people are being attracted to some of the materialistic lifestyle that they see because of media today. But overall, generally, the people are very happy there. They know they live in a nice environment. And if you're there long enough, you can really see the people are very kind to each other. So it is a culture where happiness is cultivated, and if you're there, you give yourself enough time to see it, you can really see the people. They are genuinely happier, especially when you compare it to most cultures in the world. Every culture has different energy. Some cultures are very aggressive, and some of them are very mellow and laid back, like a Buddhist country like Bhutan. Buddhism tends to Buddhify the people. It tends to remove the aggression, and the people are a little bit more happy because they realize that happiness comes from within, not an external desire, satisfying one's desire with material objects. So they take the gross happiness project very serious there, and if you're there long enough, you could really see it in the people's face. They're very, very mellow, very, very content, and very compassionate people.
Okay, so I'm Randy Harvey, and we're talking about Bhutan and some of the things that I enjoyed doing. We were on our tour with Jim Hagan and Wisdom Tours, and we went to Tiger's Nest, one of the most famous songs here or there. We're in Calcutta now, in Bhutan.
And songs are monasteries, right?
Pardon?
Songs are monasteries.
Songs are monasteries, yes. And although this was one of the most famous ones and one of the most difficult ones to get to, some people rode horses up the steep path to get there, and other people decided to walk. My wife, Kathy, and I decided to walk up, and I enjoyed actually the walk getting there. It was a very exhausting walk to get up to Tiger's Nest as much as actually being at Tiger's Nest, because it made us appreciate the remoteness and the high altitude that the Zong was built at, Tiger's Nest was built at.
So how long was the hike?
It was about 2 hours.
2-hour hike.
Yeah, about a 2-hour hike with some stopping to rest and to acclimatize a little bit and to have a snack and some water. But that's pretty normal for us. We'll hike, and then we'll take a little rest, and then we'll hike some more. This is an unusual hike in the sense that you went up, and then you went down a little bit, and then you went up some more, and then you came down some. So it was sort of varying terrain, but it was about a 3,000-foot elevation gain, which is quite a lot of elevation gain and loss.
But we started at 6,000 and something, right?
Yeah, we ended up just under 10,000 feet. Jim said it was over 10,000, but my watch, which had an altimeter on it, was indicating like just under 10,000 feet at the top of the Zong when we were there.
My name is Kenzum Chedini.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
And what grade are you in?
I'm 9th grade now.
Okay, so where do you go to school?
To help my parents when I grew up now.
And how far is that from here?
Isn't it?
How far is it?
2 hours. We have to walk all 2 hours now.
2 hours each way.
Yes, ma'am.
But you take the bus sometimes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's, well, I guess that helps. And when you go home, what do you have to do?
We have to cook food like this, ma'am.
You have to cook food.
Yes.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I want to become air hostess, ma'am.
Oh, well, best luck to you.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
is she your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how old are you?
13 years old.
13 years old. What grade are you in?
8th grade.
8th grade. So you walk with her to go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do when you go home? Do you help cooking or cleaning, or do you help with the field, or what do you do?
Just sitting. Like
Just eating? You don't help your sister?
No.
Oh. And what do you want to do when you graduate from school?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you want to do when you are done with the school? She wants to be a flight attendant. What do you want to be?
Doctor.
You want to be a doctor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then where would you have to go to school? Do you need to go to Thimphu?
Yes, ma'am.
To Thimphu. You know, you speak really good English.
Thank you,
so how is that? Are the classes at school in English?
Yes, ma'am.
So everything is in English?
Some in some comment.
Some everything is in English?
Yes, ma'am. Only one subject is English. Our national language, ma'am. Only this is the
Only one subject is in your language. And what subject is that?
Songkha.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, ma'am.
Keranchela.
Kanchela.
When we were in Thimphu, we all visited as a group the giant golden Buddha on the hill just outside of town. And the Buddha itself, I'm told, was like 130 feet high from its sitting position to the top of its head. And that was on a platform that was about 5 stories high. And that was on top of this high hill outside of Thimphu, so you could see it from miles around, this Buddha. And it's not even finished yet. It's going to take some years to finish it. So just being there, and you could see in the pictures how small the people were up against this giant Buddha. So obviously the people who are building this are putting a lot of thought into it and a lot of resources to make it happen.
The third most important thing that I like about Bhutan, of course, is the environment. You have a very pristine, clear environment. There's no traffic lights in Bhutan. There's no industry. So it's a very, very beautiful, clean environment. They have a wonderful ecosystem, great many birds to watch and see. So it's really a beautiful environment, environmentally.
What is your opinion about the current king?
Now, my opinion, I think everybody is happy with the king. And also, like my friend said, he is a living Buddha on the earth. And he is a very nice, nice and a very good heart man. And he moved from the places to places, and he just mingled with the people to get the, a problem of the people. And that's how he just attached with the people. And I think that's why everybody loves him.
Okay, so if everybody loves the king, why is Bhutan having elections?
So now this is a main question, because our former king, you see, he said he don't want to keep the power, he want to decentralize the power. And that time all the people, they request the king saying that we don't want any election, and also we don't want any new king, we want you to be the king. But that is the main idea from the former king, to have election,
Okay.
not from the people.
And then I'd say my other favorite thing is probably seeing the country in development. They're in their beginning stage, and they're really laying down some infrastructure that is really important. It's going to determine the course of the country for the next few years, and it's kind of really cool to see that in this stage. And I think it'd be awesome to continue visiting every 5 years or something to see how this is progressing, because I can't think of another country that does religion and state more harmoniously than this one, and it's very interesting, very cool to see because it seems like it's working. So yeah, I think those are my favorite things.